Hello and welcome to the weekend review. I'm reviewing the 3 games that I previewed last Friday. The Ballyclough Grange Junior B Football League Round 3 game. The Cork versus Kerry Munster Senior Football Semi-Final Championship. And the Cork and Clare Hurling first round of the championship. I'll start with the latter, which was the game that's freshest in my head, which is yesterday's game, Cork versus Clare. It was on in Ennis. What a fucking amazing day I had. My best friend, since childhood, collected me in his BMW, right? Now, I'm not a fan of BMWs, guys, but I'll take a lift in one, all right? We sailed down to Ennis. We got a parking space, maybe 10 minutes from the ground. Beautiful parking space. We sauntered in. We went into Super Value to go for a piss because we said if we tried to go to a pub, we'd be all day trying to go for a piss. And then my friend had a great idea. He said, why don't we go in and get some cans and we'll have a fucking can. So we went into the Super Value. We got some cans. I was looking around for some Cronin cider. This is a shout out to John Cronin. There's no Cronin cider in Ennis. I went up and I asked, and they said, no, we don't have it yet, but they did bring out their cans last week, so look, let's give them a break. They'll be bringing it out next week, hopefully, the next week or 2, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know how long it takes to roll out this kind of stuff, guys, okay? But anyway, we ended up getting beer. We sat out, we drank some beers, we went in to the terrace. Now, I'm 48, lads. I have a dodgy knee, right? If I hadn't a dodgy knee, I'd be playing Junior B, right? That's why I'm managing Junior B as opposed to playing for it. But I went to the terrace. My buddy said, we'll go right up the back. We'll get a good spot. So we went right up the back, lads. I had a great spot. I was up by the wall. I was able to lean. There was no rain. We bought our rain gear. There was no rain. It was brilliant. We were excited. We were fucking trembling with anticipation. We were soaking in all the atmosphere. We were watching with glee as Cork supporters and Clare supporters filed into the ground. There was a murmur of anticipation. Then the atmosphere just kind of came to a crescendo then, as it always does with the Iranavian. Goosebumps. And then Cork, who were playing, unfortunately for us, into the goal at the far side in the first half up by the Clare supporters, they sang and danced a merry tune, lads. And at halftime we were up 12 points. And myself and my buddy, were talking about All Irelands, we're talking about hurling, we're talking about hotels, we're talking about All-Stars, we're talking about this, that and the other anyway. And this is hurling, like 12 points. You'd have nearly your suitcase packed. And you'd be looking for train tickets, like, for the All-Ireland. That's the way it used to be. But then the game just turned on a sixpence. We had a red card. I've watched it now a few times. I think it was a harsh red card, okay? It changed the game dramatically. Then our 6 went off, Downey. I hope he's okay. But he was unbelievable, right? And then they took Hoggy off as well, which I thought was, like, a lot of people were talking about that, but I thought that was a massive thing. He's our free taker. Yeah, he's still dangerous. Like, yeah, he might be running out, he mightn't be 100%, but he's still dangerous and he's absolutely epic with the frees. So they were 3 massive things that I think that Cork, that turned against Cork in the second half, and Clare almost won the game. Had a 13-point turnaround before Dalton equalised with a late free for Cork, and then we sailed back out of Clare and we had a few beers, all right? Now, let's go back to Saturday night, okay? Saturday night in the park, 7 o'clock, under lights, different kettle of fish. I was there with my family, my wife and 2 kids. I'm actually making a video on that, so I'll be putting it up in the next 24, 48 hours. I've loads of great footage on that, but let's just talk about the game. First of all, I brought my 2 sons and my wife. My wife is from Kerry. It's not my fault. She made me fall in love with her, right? Okay. And anyway, she's from Kerry and she was wearing the Kerry jersey and nothing I could do about it. My kids were calling her a traitor all day, which I liked. But fair play to her. She was roaring her head off in a sea of red for the green and gold, and I respect that. Cork should have won that game. Cork should have won that game. Cork should have won that game. I don't know if we'll ever have a chance as clear as the chance we had on Sunday or Saturday night. It's actually hard to talk about. I'm actually finding it, like in the car on the way to Clare yesterday, my friend, we were trying to dissect it, we were trying to make sense of it. It's just hard to make sense of it all. Even now, a couple of days later, we have had so many catastrophic defeats to Kerry in the last 10, 15, 20 years. Genuinely, like they have humiliated us on several occasions. And here we had a chance in front of 14,000, and that's a fucking huge number, because most of us, it was heavily Cork. I would say there might have been 2,000 Kerry supporters. The Kerry football supporters are a fucking disgrace. So they are, because that's their main sport. That's their main sport, and they're brilliant at it. And they can't get up after the amount of abuse I've got from Kerry fans who can't even open their own Velcro wallets to take out the pennies and pay for a fucking ticket in a match that's only 2 minutes up the road. So, do you know what? No respect for the Kerry football supporters, all right? Except my wife, all right? Because I know loads. Now, I did meet one or two who I know, and I'm going to, there are always going to be hardcore, but there was about 2,000 Kerry supporters at that match, lads. That's a disgrace when they have potentially one of the greatest footballers of all time playing with them. You know? So, yeah, I give out about the Cork supporters, but Kerry, fucking hell, man. What a disgraceful bunch of supporters. And I don't care what you say, you fucking are. We should have won the game. Kerry were unfucking real. They're Rolls Royces on the field, because they will never play that bad again, and they still were awesome. 3 unbelievable goals. Like, they really are a beautiful side when they're in their... And they did not play well at all. And Cork played excellent. But we just kicked so many chances wide. And so many times we're ponderous when we're just... I've said this so many times, okay? Just left to right, to left to right. There was a little bit more kicking with Cork, a small bit more kicking, which just speeds it up. It just, even if you're going across the field, kick the fucking thing. It's a little faster. We kicked wide after wide, went to extra time, lads. How we didn't win that game is actually beyond me, because we have never had as many Kerry will never play as bad. I hope we don't meet Kerry again until next year, because it'll just be, like, if we meet them, it'll probably be in a bigger pitch up. Well, they're all the fucking same size, the pitches, but it'll probably be in Croke Park. And then they might have, the old fans might travel up to that then. Do you know what I mean? Like, conditions were perfect for us. It was in our home ground. It was under lights. We had the majority of the crowd. We were playing well. They were playing poor. And we still couldn't fucking beat them. Disgraceful. Anyway, the big game of the weekend was Ballyclough versus Grange. Junior B3. I am the manager of Ballyclough, ably assisted by my 2 beautiful selectors, Peter Carroll and Jason Clifford. All right, and we played 2 games prior to that. We'd won 1, we lost 1. Grange are playing junior championship the following week, county championship. And they had their first team out. We had a ragtag team. We were on the phone trying to get players all day. Lads were texting that they were going. Then they were texting that they weren't going. Thumbs up and thumbs down in the WhatsApp fucking poll. It was mayhem, but it was pissing out of the heavens. So some windy lads were kind of coming in with excuses, and some hardcore lads were like, I'll be fucking there. I'll fucking play for the Claw under any type of weather. And what a game. Disaster within the first 2 minutes. Grange got 2 quick goals within the first 5 minutes, and then after that the Claw took control of the game. But like the Cork footballers, we just couldn't get over the line. And like the Cork footballers, lads, there was hardly anyone at the game. I think there was about 7 people at the game. Like, I mean, come on, lads, what are you at? Open up your f***ing wallets. It was actually free to get into Grange. I arrived an hour beforehand. I opened up the gate to get into lads, I just want to shout out actually to Grange as a GAA club, right? They're in between Fermoy and Glanworth, 2 fairly big, successful clubs, and their dugouts, their dressing rooms are partitions. It's a throwback, right? Their field has a big, massive hill in it, but they're so passionate there. They really are passionate. A lovely group of people, and we were made welcome. And they won. And I want to wish them the very best of luck in the county going forward. That's my weekend review, lads. Hopefully it'll be better next time. Love you. Bye.